You've heard me say repetitively as we've read through the book of Isaiah, there's a phrase that keeps coming up in the New Living Translation. What sorrow? And I keep threatening I'm going to read you the whole list. So I'm going to do it today because in our text in chapter 46 today, we have one of the most beautiful one of those what sorrows. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 8. What sorrow for you who buy up house after house and field after field until everyone is evicted and you live alone in the land. In other words, what sorrow for people who hoard everything, who just have to have everything. Chapter 5, verse 11. What sorrow for those who get up early in the morning looking for drink of alcohol and spend long evenings drinking wine to make themselves flaming drunk. What sorrow. You wonder why I teach people not to drink? There's a reason for it. There's sorrow there. Verse 18. What sorrow for those who drag their sins behind them with ropes made of lies, who drag wickedness behind them like a cart? What sorrow for people who, rather than simply repenting of their sins, drag their sins with them by ropes of lies. Wow, that's an amazing passage. Chapter 5, verse 20 to 22. What sorrow for those who say evil is good and good is evil, that dark is light and light is dark, and bitter is sweet and sweet is bitter. What sorrow for people who change the definitions? Verse 21. What sorrow for those who are wise in their own eyes and think themselves so clever? Verse 22. What sorrow for those who are heroes at drinking wine and boast about all the alcohol they can hold? Chapter 10, verse 1, what sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws? Chapter 10, verse 5, what sorrow awaits Assyria, the rod of my anger? I use it as a club to express my anger. Chapter 28, verse 1, what sorrow awaits the proud city of Samaria, the glorious crown of the drunks of Israel? Chapter 29, verse 1, what sorrow awaits Ariel, the city of David? Year after year, you celebrate your feasts. Chapter 29, 15, what sorrow awaits those who try to hide their plans from the Lord? What do their evil deeds do, who do their evil deeds in the dark and say the Lord can't see us? He doesn't know what's going on. You think God doesn't see what you're doing? I mean, come on. Get real, okay? Chapter 30, verse 1. What sorrow awaits my rebellious children, says the Lord? Chapter 31, verse 1. What sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help, trusting their horses and chariots? In other words, you trust in man rather than trusting in the Lord. Isaiah 33, verse 1. What sorrow awaits you, Assyrians, who have destroyed others but have never been destroyed yourselves? You betray others, but you have never been betrayed. When you're done destroying, you will be destroyed. When you're done betraying, you will be betrayed. And then our text today, Isaiah 45, verse 9. What sorrow awaits those who argue with their Creator? Does a clay pot argue with its maker? Does a clay dispute with the one who shapes it, saying, stop, you're doing it wrong? Does the pot exclaim, how clumsy can you be? What sorrow awaits those who argue with their Creator? Now, you should go back and make a little list of these verses and then highlight them and remember, these are things not to do. This is a way not to live if you want a happy, happy life.